Sessions podcast. We invite guests to come by and get high with us here in Nevada's original cannabis lounge. So let's get into it. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the NuWu Sessions podcast. We are back at it here for another one, episode 39, with Miss CoCo Jenkins from Nothing to Do Las Vegas. How you doing this morning, CoCo?
Yeah, what's good? Where do I look? At you? At the camera?
Yeah, no, we're right here. I mean, if you want to, this one's right here, but we're here for this. So,
okay.
We're very excited to have Miss CoCo on here today to talk about all things Nothing to Do Las Vegas. But before we do that, let's talk about our beverages here. We're both sipping on some Blue Dreams, one of the most popular beverages here in the Sky High Lounge. Let's do a cheers, Miss CoCo.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. Starting the day with a little edible, right? And let's get started.
A little tuck and toke.
Yeah, right? We do have a lot of products to be enjoying today as well, but got to start with your appetizers, you know, get something palatable. But let's get this started here, Miss CoCo. So for those who don't know, Nothing to Do Las Vegas is a website and social media platform built to promote the most unique events here in Las Vegas. For 7 years, Miss CoCo and the team over there at Nothing to Do Las Vegas have built an IG following of over 50,000 people by showcasing everything from underground concerts, street festivals, burlesque performances, and more. But before we talk about Nothing to Do Las Vegas, let's talk about Miss CoCo Jenkins and how she got introduced to the cannabis plant. What was your first time smoking weed like, CoCo?
I'm gonna talk about my first time that kicked off my smoking season, which I'm still in.
There you go.
So I started a little late. I didn't really smoke until I was 27, and you know, the early 20s, I feel like was my years to build and do things and get out there. And now that I smoke regularly, I see how helpful that was. Because, you know, you get to the car, you get to your spot, then you're like, let me roll up before I go in. And then, all right, now we got to smoke it. And then we go in and we're high and we're saying hi to everybody and we might smoke some more. And then it just, you know, it's like a long thing that happens. But in my early 20s, I was at 5 different events in the night, just boom, boom, boom.
There you go.
Just, you know, and I just feel like I didn't have time. I was never opposed.
Right.
But when I turned 27, I started teaching middle school orchestra.
Wow. Okay.
And before then, I had been on artist schedule, which I'm still on. So this 10 a.m. was a little rough, but we got here. Fortunately, I wake up looking decent. Actually looking real good, so you know it was cool.
There you go.
But when I started teaching, you know, I literally had to flip my schedule, and I, you know, instead of waking up instead of going to sleep at 5 a.m., I had to be up at 5 a.m.
Oh yeah, big change.
So I very intentionally started smoking to help me go to sleep.
Gotcha.
And then it became very intentionally smoking to decompress after the day with all the little tears.
There you go, with all the little tears. So yeah, I mean, 27, that's definitely later than I'd say most people have on the podcast. And you know what I mean? Everyone's different, and you know what I mean? Approach the plant the way they want. But that makes sense because you're still kind of approaching it from like a wellness and like medicinal background. Like, cool, this is my melatonin before I go to bed. This is something to just help me unwind. So I'm glad to hear that it still kind of starts in that like wellness center, because I know here in cannabis, I've personally been in the cannabis scene since 2016, back when it was still medical. In all these years, we kind of lose it a little bit, I feel, with the cannabis culture, because a lot of people now that it's recreational, we're not thinking about wellness or health or using this medicinally. We're using this in ways to party and have fun and things like that, which we can also do that as well. But it sounds like for you, that's kind of what it started in, and you know, keeping it rooted there. So are you still a daily user like to this day?
Now I'm like... By the end of my teaching career, I would blaze it before school, on my lunch break, right after.
There you go. Yeah.
And I'm talking about it so freely now, like, because I'm not teaching anymore.
Right.
But also because I'm an advocate, and I know when I would get so high on my lunch break and just come back to class chilling. The kids will be like, "Miss, you're so chill and happy," and like, and it's like, yeah, you should be chill and happy, but it's hard around 40 students. But the plant like literally helps you react slower. So when a kid's coming at you crazy, it's like, okay, I can like address the situation without like feeling a kind of way.
Yeah,
a very helpful plant. Thank you, marijuana.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, especially, I mean, with little ones, you know, I feel like you can get overstimulated quickly just because, you know, they don't have those cognitive or social skills. So it makes sense to be like, okay, bring down to earth. I'm just completely calm. You know what I mean? Nothing can shake me. That's a good way to approach it. So, so you're still a daily user. What does a typical sesh look like for Miss CoCo Jenkins when you're just chilling at home or whatever?
When I'm chilling at home, my man likes to smoke blunts, so he'll roll us a blunt. I'm a princess. I don't do most of the rolling. Sometimes I will, or I'll pack a joint, or I'll hit a bong. I'm a flower user.
There you go.
Yeah.
Flower's the way to be, right?
Yeah.
Hey, if it's tree, it's me, right? So
That's right. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So do you have any like go-to strains or things that you're going, or if you're shopping for the weed that you're looking for?
Mm-hmm. I am a non-connoisseur of weed. I am does it smoke good? Does it get me high? Is it smooth? You know, does it have seeds or not? I don't want that. You know, like does it taste good? And even that is like way more elevated than before. I would just be like, all right, that's what you're smoking. I'm smoking that too.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
I feel like though my personal go-to, I'm like a traditional. Okay. I like a OG Kush.
There you go.
You know, just a classic.
This classic land
strains,
that's
right? Gonna get me high. I know it tastes good. I know it smokes good. I heard about it in the rap songs. So you know, whatever they rapping about, I'll smoke unless it's like gonna kill you. I'm not into that.
Avoid the zombie Kush, right? No.
Yeah.
Cool. So before you started Nothing to Do Las Vegas, what were you doing professionally?
I played in a hip hop band for 8 years, and that's actually kind of how I started There's Nothing to Do in Vegas. I played in a hip hop band, and when we were first getting started, it was like it was still MySpace social media times. Right. So it was just like really pre-social media, to like very early social media, and being in that band and also being a fan and like wanting to go out and, you know, early 20s, whatever, wanting to explore the city, but not knowing where to find certain things. I needed the information, you know, of how to find things that were underground. And I realized how hard it was to like put out the information and get it out to people. And then as a fan, I was like, yo, how do I find out about the cool things I know are happening? I just don't know exactly how to find them.
Gotcha. So sounds like necessity is the mother of all invention right there. You know, like it looks like there's not a one-stop place to just find out all the fun things that, like you said, are happening. So how can you provide it? So that's cool. That's awesome. That's a cool success story there, especially in early social media days. I know these days a lot of people are trying to build pages, following, so on and so forth. And there's a lot more competition than there was certainly in the early days, but I think it's just a testament to the grind. And, you know, as the kids say, consistency goes the distance, right? You know, it's like we still out here 7 years later in these streets. Let's get it. So
1,000,000%, yo, like, and with no butt cheeks. I feel like butt cheeks really helps your Instagram page grow.
There you go. Right. There you go.
There's no butt cheeks on my page. So it took a while to, you know, it took all this time to get to 50K, but it's like all organic, you know, like real stuff that really actually helps people. Not saying butt cheeks don't help people. I'm not dissing that at all. But, you know, we had our own journey.
There you go. No, 100%. I mean, there's definitely shorter and quicker paths, I guess, you know what I mean, to build that following and to each their own if it makes sense for the niche. But I do think, to your point, you definitely want to go with an organic approach. You want followers that actually care about your content and your messaging, because if not, like, what's really the point, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, these days, anyone can build a page and get to 50K if you spend however many dollars to just get you there. But having 50,000 bots aren't going to help you actually achieve your goals. So don't panic, it's organic. That's the way.
Love that.
Cool. So this is probably a good point to start maybe smoking some product and start getting some things over here. If I can get my boy Chris to help me out with the table package. We got all types of goodies set aside for us. We got some rollies, some flour, because I know Miss CoCo's a flower girl. We got some other things here. Let's see what my boy Chris has got for us.
All right, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up, Chris?
Nothing much. Got some good stuff for y'all today. I'm not very knowledgeable on what's going on, but my boy Tom right here will tell you what's going on. So
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate
Thanks,
that, brother.
Chris.
So right here on the table package, we've got our Sky High Lounge Jerome Baker Designs
Beautiful.
bong. Miss Coco's familiar with this because Nothing to Do Las Vegas was invited to be a 2024 NuWu Cup judge. So got one of those at home. No stranger there. We've also got the Sky High Lounge Dr. Dabber XS collab that we did over there.
You guys definitely introduced me to that through the NuWu Cup, and that is a nice piece of equipment.
Shout out to the Dr. Dabber team. Are you familiar with Daniel over there, Dr.
No,
Dabber?
I'm not.
He's a great guy. When we started doing this collab, just the level of branding they let us get to, because obviously the only way you're going to get a gold wrapped XS is here at NuWu. They have the Sky High Lounge branding they offered for us, and in the box too, there's a little bit of story about NuWu and some of our branding and story in the box as well. So really appreciate the Dr. Dabber team for allowing us to collaborate on such a cool device, because for these things, I don't know if you've shopped a lot of e-rigs, but I feel like the most average MSRP, I guess, if you will, is about $300 to $400.
Wow.
These things retail for, I want to say it's like $180. I think you can get them on the website.
Oh.
So they definitely changed the game by making it something that's affordable.
Right.
Entry level. It's small. It's, compact. If you have like a fanny pack, a backpack, something like this. And this is one of my favorite features right here. I don't know if you know this one.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
wow. That's why it's portable.
Spill proof. Yeah. You can actually put that in your pocket without being like, I think I just ruined my phone. So.
And also, real quick, I got my 90-year-old dad so high off of that thing.
Oh, yeah.
I came home, I said, Dad, look at this new toy I got for the NuWu Cannabis
Right.
Cup. And he was acting like he was wanting to go to bed, and he was like, let's see that toy you got. And we was up till 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Just chilling, listening to music. And that's the most high I've ever seen him. And
Oh, yeah.
he had a really good time.
Was that his first time dabbing?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's a cool
Yeah.
first time dab story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Dabbing with pops. Hell
Dabbing
yeah.
with Pop.
That's cool. That's cool. So, Miss Coco, first, how we want to dive in here as far as the
sorry.
product we've got. We've also got an eighth of flour we can load into this
Hey.
bong. We've got cones. We also have these Packwoods Glones. They have glass crutches in there, and I think these might even be. Nope, they're just glass tip pre-rolled cones, so we can stuff some of those. We have
see
extracts. Oh, yes, please. We do have some extracts here. We got grinders. We got ashtrays. We also have some Stizzy's 40s. These are infused pre-rolls.
Hey.
These are pretty sick. I love the Stizzy 40s. These things always smack. But
Okay.
we got several options to dive in. What do you want to start with today?
Let's start with the chef's rack.
There you go. Right here. And it's easy. The pre-rolls, you know what I mean? We just light them and go.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Miss Coco, I got a lighter here for you.
Thank you, sir.
So while I start getting this ready for you, can you tell us a story about how Nothing to Do Las Vegas first came together? We touched on a little bit with obviously your background, but how did it formally come together?
So I started putting out like a list every week or every couple of days on my Facebook, because remember we're early
Early
social
Facebook days,
media
right?
times.
Yeah.
I think I was on Facebook when it was only for college students, like
Okay. Wow. Yeah. OG.
way back then.
There you go.
And so I started putting a list together, like, hey, I'm playing this event this weekend. Here are 5 other shows I think are dope that
Okay.
are happening. And it would go out to my network. The post would do well, but it was just going out to my people.
Gotcha.
So it was like, how can I get that out to more than my people?
Okay.
And like I said at the time, pre-social media, I actually didn't have a smartphone, and I didn't have Instagram, and I'm generally an organic person, so I'm just not trying to be on my phone like that. It's so funny. I have a social media platform, and I'm not trying to be on my
Yeah,
phone like
yeah.
that. But
That's how you stay productive. So yeah.
exactly. So my dude at the time, who now we work together for Nothing to Do LV. We're not together anymore, but he got me like a burner phone that he was done with, and put Instagram on there and created. He was like, "This needs to go on Instagram,"
Okay.
and I was like, "Fine, I'll do it."
Right.
And then from there it just took off. And I didn't have a smartphone for a few early years of Nothing to Do LV, so I would be borrowing friends' phones, like, hey, let me make these posts real quick,
Right.
or stealing Wi-Fi or whatever
Okay.
it is. But
Wow. So I mean,
yeah, let's
that's a
light up.
grind. That's a cool story though, because I mean, we all need our community, the people around us, to help elevate us, and sometimes make us aware that maybe the decisions we shouldn't be making, or should or shouldn't be making. So if you're starting and you're making posts on your Facebook, just as like a hard post on the timeline for your followers, being like, these are all these cool things that are happening. But at the time, because also that it was, I remember early Instagram, and I remember, you know, the Instagram boom and the early Facebook and all of that, you know, shout out to you for having your people to be like, you're going to want to be on this platform too. So, and because you guys have, you have Instagram, I know you guys have TikTok. Are you guys still, you have a Facebook page as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're kind of like, I mean, you know how you can run things through things.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like that. I try and tap in with them though, because there are people there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some people that are just never going to make the switch from Facebook to Instagram or TikTok or whatever. So you want to meet people where they're at. But obviously, as far as your pages and the hierarchy of needs, you know what I mean? I think from what I've seen, it looks like the majority of your audience is going to be on Instagram. And has that kind of been the focal point for you guys, especially in those early years, was just building the Instagram?
1,000,000%, especially in the early years, because they didn't have the algorithm.
Yeah.
They didn't have your band on there yet.
Yeah. we barely created the internet. Sorry, guys.
So early Instagram was great. It was great. You got to see everything in time. It didn't matter how much Fools was paying or not paying. You know, yeah, I'll end it there.
There you go. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think all these platforms, especially in the early years, I know that's what Facebook capitalized on. I know that's what Instagram did. Twitter, you start by offering your audience a direct connection. So I'm following CoCo Jenkins. I'm following Nothing to Do Las Vegas. And now I'm seeing all the posts from CoCo Jenkins, Nothing to Do Las Vegas, anyone I'm following. And then as they age and evolve and everything, it gets monetized. And then all of a sudden it becomes ad space and everything like that. And it, I mean, I feel reminiscent on those early days. It was a lot cooler because you could connect with the people that you were following and seeing the things in your feed that you wanted to see. It's obviously it's a lot harder these days, but I mean that's how any platform starts. I think that's what has been happening with TikTok in the past 2 or 3 years since that's boomed. Like, okay, Instagram feels stale. It's all ads. Everything I'm seeing isn't the stuff or the pages I'm following.
Right.
And here's this new platform, and now all of a sudden I can see all my friends' posts again. You know,
right.
You want to leverage that.
To me, that's like why it's so important to have our own platform. You know, why I was like, no, we got to have our own website, because it's just getting too ridiculous. How do I have, at the time, 20, 30, 40,000 followers, and my posts are not getting seen by 100 people? It's weird. It's, I get it. It's because there's flyers and there's words and there's not butt cheeks. I get it. But like, at least a quarter of my followers should be able to see what they hit follow for.
100%. Yeah, and I agree. And to the point, since you just piggybacked on the website, because you guys, we launched the Nothing to Do Las Vegas website, about a year ago now, right?
Yeah, August 19th.
Okay, so a little over a year. Awesome.
Yeah.
We did have the launch party here at NuWu.
That's right.
Let's see here. That featured performances from local artists, including the acclaimed Las Vegas rapper, Mr. Dizzy Wright, which featured Miss CoCo Jenkins on the bass guitar. How did you actually link up with Dizzy?
So, Dizzy and I, we kind of came up. Well, I came up in the like hip hop scene in my hip hop band, or in the music scene with my hip hop band, and he came up kind of around the same time. He's like a little younger than me, so just like a little after. And we had been pretty established, like doing dope things in the city, opening for dope artists, playing really cool venues, House of Blues, Brooklyn Bowl, but at the time where, hip hop was still, frowned upon. That's a whole story. But we actually started throwing our own shows, and we threw events, and one of those events was at House of Blues, and we invited different performers. Dizzy Wright was one of those performers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we did it where you performed according to how many tickets you sold. So you sold more tickets, you performed closer to the headlining spot. Dizzy sold the least. Dizzy sold the least tickets. So he opened for my band back then, but he only sold the least tickets because at that time he was already kind of out in the world and doing things and touring. So he wasn't here to be able to sell his tickets. And then like right after that, he took off. 2 years ago, DJ Kelly J hit me up, very established, well-known DJ in the scene that does a lot for the people. To me, she's like a same level, and not to compare us, but she's like a same mover and shaker, like same energy for what she does and who the community that she serves. She hit me up and said, hey, Dizzy Wright's looking for a bass player. Do you know anyone? Because I wasn't really active at the time, and I was racking my brain like, do I know? No, that guy's on tour with this artist, and nah, he's kind of unreliable. And then I was like, oh, I play bass. You know what? I'm free.
There you go.
I could do it. I just quit teaching, so now I have time to do these things, and that's the story of how I started playing with Dizzy Wright, and that's been a dope ride.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome. So we had Dizzy Wright on the podcast. I can't remember the episode number now. It was definitely a while ago, and I think it was right around the same time when that started, because I remember him talking about how he was going to be doing shows with the band, and I think that's when he started the residency as well, if my memory serves correct. But I remember talking about that. I was like, oh, that's cool, because I've heard Dizzy's music. I'm familiar with his style, and I'm like, and he would be really dope with the band. You know what I mean? I don't think it's something that I personally have seen a lot in that space. Obviously, I'm more in a different genre and scene in that regard. Yeah. But I thought it was really cool, you know what I mean? I got to see it. And also, it was my first time seeing Miss CoCo actually shred the bass. So if you haven't seen CoCo shreds from one bass player to another.
Appreciate
crushing
you.
It. So, and,
that's so cool.
No, and it was cool because I know that day, the event, we had this big activation, Miss CoCo and the team, the site map and everything. We had all these things, and we got rained out. Day of, we had to move everything upstairs, but a true testament to your grind. Everything happened up here, right here in the corner before the Packwoods Golf that was there, and we had a dope little concert up here. So, and I appreciate the support. And now you've been here for over a year with the Nothing to Do Las Vegas website. How has that changed things for you guys?
It's just like another level to establishing, your brand, your business. All the entrepreneurs out there will know what I'm talking about. It's really just a level up. And, I feel like that's even more for the outside. For the inside, for me, it's so important because it's my own independent platform. Everybody that goes to the site, I know everybody that goes there sees what we're sharing. There you go. Versus Instagram where, the 50,000 followers and 100 of those people are seeing Nothing to Do LV or however many the algorithm shows it to that day. 100%. Our numbers aren't that low. I'm just, 100 to 5,000, whatever it is. But everybody that visits NTDLV.com sees the information that's there, and that's why it's so valuable, because people are going to look for things to do. So anything that's on there gets seen. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool space to be in. Is it successful? Yes. Can it be more successful? I can't wait till it's successful in the way that I envision it. Right. Where it's just running and going and doing all the things and taking care of community and even creating economy for community and really uplifting artists and creatives and the things and spaces that happen here in Vegas that just don't get seen because we're covered by, $1 billion advertisement spend, It's like, nah, we got this too. Like everybody that comes to Vegas should know about NuWu. Everybody. That's really what I like. What a dope space, to have shows and blaze it and chill, so yeah.
Oh, 100%, and appreciate the support. We've been working with CoCo for a few years now. I remember, I think when we first met, we were still in the old facility and we were doing some promo and things like that. And I remember following the Nothing to Do Las Vegas Instagram page when I was still in my early years as a bud tender here in Las Vegas back in 2017, 2018, and things like that. So definitely been grinding, and glad to see that you guys have some media that you actually own instead of earned, on a social media platform. So glad you guys are growing in that regard. In your words, what do you think sets Nothing to Do Las Vegas apart from the competition?
We're really out here in these streets. We're really at, the smallest house show to the big stages and everywhere in between. And we treat everybody like the same. So like when we go to the house shows, it's the same energy we're bringing to those big stages, because let me tell you, Vegas has some of the most talented people in the world. We're literally the capital of entertainment. So like it just makes sense to have some of the most amazing artists, creatives, talent in the world here. And I know about them. I know them, and I want to show you them. And that's what really makes it different. We're really out here. Like, art's really out there hosting events like at B-Boy Jams, doing street shows. Giselle, she works at the Neon Museum. She's very hyper local. She runs our Eats page. You know, I gotta shout out my arts collective. They helped with the website launch. Row. Like, we're very connected. Like, I mean, I went to school here and I taught here. Like, we're really out here. That's what makes us different. We're from here.
It sounds like you guys are definitely more in tune and about just the Las Vegas culture. And that is like a very unique culture out here, because to your point, we are the entertainment capital of the world. That we are a city of artists and musicians and creators. And, you know, it takes birds of a feather flock together. So how can we support each other? Because you're right. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of, depending on how you look at it, some people are trying to like, I want to be better than that guy, or I want to be, and we should be lifting each other up. And it sounds like that's what I'm hearing from you right now. Is it's about love, it's about community, it's about growth and lifting each other up, right?
Not just that, it's like still the wild wild west out here. Like there's still like we're growing and all the stuff is coming, and you know, however that goes, I just pray on that, how for that to go like how it needs to go. But we literally still have so much space out here, like literally and metaphorically, for, you know, people to, we're just not established. Like, we're not New York, we're not LA. So things that have existed there for decades might not exist here. So if it doesn't, you still have the space to create that. And I think that's what makes Vegas real unique. Like, we're still such a new city, but with such a high quality of talent that we could do anything.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It is the wild, wild west out here, but it does take, you know, pioneers and people out here just trailblazing in order to
like literally
create those systems.
NuWu. Like, you guys are on like what is this place? You know, like we're on like Paiute territory in the middle of downtown Las Vegas, in a freaking weed lounge cannabis dispensary. Yeah, like that sounds crazy. That's amazing.
And only in Las Vegas, because I mean, in order to have some you know, actual, you know, sovereign land and recognized by the government, a stone's throw from downtown, I can't think of another city where that would be a thing. You know, like we're literally just a few blocks north of Circa down the street, you know what I mean? Right. One of the biggest developments in recent years. So but to that point, it is the culture. The Paiutes have been here obviously since before Las Vegas was formalized, and have worked really hard to be good neighbors with the city, and it's cool to see the growth, you know, because this is just phase 1, CoCo. We're not going to talk about it here on camera. Phase 2 and 3 are going to be dope. We're just getting started.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're out here. We're playing a long game, so stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button too. You know?
Okay, I like that.
So, what do you think that platforms like Nothing to Do Las Vegas do to keep the community and the culture off of just the focus on the Strip? Because obviously it is. There's a lot of entertainment. There's a lot of big level production shows on the Strip. But to your point, there's a lot of underground artists and cool underground shows. And what do you think your page really offers the community in that regard?
This is actually a question that has been answered to me by others, you know, because I'm in it. So yeah, I kind of know what it does, but I'm in it. Like I'm deep. I'm the foundation, right? So all the stuff that happens, I don't see everything. So these are like questions I wish other people was here to help me answer, because they're the ones that tell me like, CoCo, you don't know, but like, you know, because of your page, like I met this person and then we created this thing, and now we created this whole community and space for people. That's what, in my understanding, Nothing to Do LV has done. For me, it's like, yeah, we're an events page and platform, but to me, what I really do is help people find their home in Las Vegas. Because you said you just moved here?
I've been here for 8 years, been in cannabis the whole time. But as far as my art, my music, we'll call my first 4 years pretty rocky. Just trying to find my home and get my feet underneath me.
Where are you from?
Kansas City.
Oh, like Missouri?
I was on the Kansas side, but usually the shows you want to play
side.
are on the Missouri side.
Okay,
so.
I just went there for the first time. So
nice.
One of my favorite cities.
Okay, yeah.
That I've come across is so cool, and like the architecture, and it's very full of art and culture. But what was the question?
Yeah, I got lost here too now. Because we were talking about just the culture and the community and everything like that, and you were just talking about how sometimes you can't see the forest through the trees sometimes because you're the foundation, and it does. Because what I'm hearing in that too is it is about community, and what you're doing by building your page is leveraging your community and making a home for artists. So.
Oh yeah. Jay, I was so composed. I had it so together. I was like, no, I'm together.
Yeah. She's like, these dizzy 40s.
I remember all the thoughts, and then the thoughts fell out.
Yeah.
Oh no, helping people find their home. That's what I wanted to say, because you just moved here, and even people who grew up here, they have a hard time finding their place. Like when I was a kid, the reason the name is what it is because I would hear that growing up, in school. There's nothing to do in Vegas. This place sucks. I can't wait to move back to California. That's what they would say.
Yeah.
And I just knew if people knew about these places and spaces and communities that exist, that they would. I knew it was because of that.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't because this place sucked. It's just because they hadn't found their people. When you don't find your people, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing here? Yeah, this place sucks because I don't have anybody to, break bread with or laugh with or whatever. It's like really deep.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, what I feel like I'm doing, but it's also really fun. Let's connect in fun, productive, creative spaces where we could contribute to society instead of just get wasted and do that part
Vegas party life, right? Yeah. No, and I feel it. Vegas is a very transient town, in my opinion. I can just think off the top of my dome of a dozen or more people I know that I might have met here in my first, second, third year, whatever, and none of them live here anymore. And I've heard the sentiment. There's nothing to do Las Vegas, and it seems like such a crazy thing to say, and I think that's why it's a great name for you guys, because you're like, there's nothing to do in Las Vegas? I mean, that makes sense if you're saying there's nothing to do in Des Moines, Iowa.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Or something like that. But you're like, the entertainment capital of the world. There's tons of things to do in Las Vegas. You just got to know where to look for them. And again, to your credit, that's why it takes people building communities and platforms in order to share those things, because there's a lot of amazing underground art in this town, too. I mean, you compare it to a New York or an LA. To me, I've been in those cities. I've got several times friends, but the culture here is very unique because there's just so much talent in this tiny little macrocosm in the desert. It's just insane. So, thank you for being out here and building these communities. And like I said, I've been following as an artist for years, just when I was like, there's nothing to do in Las Vegas. That seems like a page I want to follow. So, that's awesome.
Have you used it?
Yes.
In that way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, it's my first few years being here after I'm like, okay, I've got a job. I'm getting a little more stable. I want to start focusing on my music a little bit more. What's the scene doing? You know what I mean? Pages like yours, oh, cool, look at this rock show that's happening at Vamped tomorrow or wherever the hell it is, kind of help me get started knowing where to look, right?
That's literally how I want people to use it. My favorite is the success stories like that one. Yeah, I started, doing music more. There's one photographer that he always shouts me out because he moved here and he literally used the page how I hope people use it. They go to the places, they network, they get their next gig, they level up. If you're consistent.
Consistency goes the distance, right?
Up.
There you go.
You'll level up. You don't even got to be good, dog. You just got to be consistent.
Yeah.
These fools are out here consistently not good, but they're doing it.
They're showing up, right?
Yeah.
That's 9/10 of the battle most days, right?
1,000,000%. So if you're good and you're like, why am I not, making it? It's because you're not consistent, dog.
Yeah.
And these mediocre fools are out there. Go get them.
Yeah, go get them. Hey, brilliant message right there. And I think it does lend itself to just the pure nature. Like you said, this is how you've wanted the page since the beginning, is to create a hub for artists to find things that are going on. And I think that's just a really pure mission statement. And here 7 years later, with all the growth, you've got a team, you've got multiple platforms and pages, you've got a website. The mission statement hasn't changed. And those are my favorite stories, for any brand, because you see it a lot where the mission statement changes. Now we don't really care about that. Now we really care about making money, or it's not about the culture. It's about dollars, revenue, impressions, or whatever. So that's what I'm hearing in your story, and it's inspiring. So thank you for doing what you're doing. I do want to touch on, we just said a little bit at the beginning here, you are a NuWu Cup judge. This has been our first year inviting you on the team. How has the judging process been going for you so far?
Yo, it's so fun. If they ask you, just do it. If they ask you, just do it. I'm really high right now. It feels great. I'm ready to smoke.
Yeah, we can smoke some more. So I got some flower. We can do a bong load. We can do some dabs. We can roll a cone. I mean, there's still 2 more of these 40s. So we just want to do another one of those.
Let's do a bowl, please.
Let's do a bowl. Beautiful. Load that up here for you.
So, yeah, while you're doing that, I'll talk about the cannabis cup. It's been a great time in all the ways. Just like, is also mad educational. Like I said, I was never into dabs like that. Even vapes, like I said, my preferred way to smoke is flower. But it's like cool getting to learn about those things and how they may or may not affect you differently. The gummies, I love gummies. They're so delicious. All the gummies have been great. Let's see, the little package you guys put together with the planner.
Yes, ma'am.
With the judging sheets. That's cute. It's real. It's so official.
Thank you.
Because I tell people.
Right.
But then I bring out the freaking the thing.
Right.
Dog, and they're so what? You gotta judge it. You gotta like really rate it. Like.
Yeah.
And
the session journal does make it official. You know what I mean? It's like, no. I'm actually really trying to be serious about this, right?
Yes. I would say the hardest part is just making sure you write down the thing when you do the thing and keeping track of it. Taking
your notes, not just being like, man, I'm so stoned. I love this. And then you're like an hour later, like, well, what was the experience like? Right? No, I feel that. I know. So, because we're on year 4 now, and the judging metrics haven't really changed much, and the session journal format's been pretty similar. But I've been doing that for the past few years, like with my bandmates, my friends, or whatever. I'm like, all right, we're going to smoke this, but like, we're not just going to smoke it. All right, we're going to talk about the appearance, the aroma, the flavor, the effect, and it is I don't know. It's a fun way to smoke weed when you really think about it like that, because I think a lot of us, we get in our habits, depending on if it's recreational, we're decompressing or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to take it seriously. I'm trying to unwind. But we've all had good weed and bad weed, right? And we've all had those uplifting or disappointing moments where you're like, damn, that didn't get me where I was trying to go, or the opposite. So it's cool to just kind of look at it objectively and be like, that's right, I am a judge. What is the best smoke out here, So
right, you guys are turning like this basic smoker into a connoisseur.
Hell yeah, that's right. That's NuWu Cup. That's what we love to hear. So
I'm like, what does it take? What is the flavor of this?
So Miss CoCo, I got that here for you.
Thank you.
Fire it up.
Blaze it.
Bong rips from them Jerome Baker Designs bongs, the exclusive collab. So as we fire this up, let's start talking about the future of Nothing to Do Las Vegas, because in the past few years, you guys launched the website like we talked about, but you've also launched 2 other IG handles, the Nothing to Do LV Eats and the Nothing to Do LV Smokes. How are those pages going for you guys so far?
Shouts out Giselle. Eats is great.
There you go. There's a lot of food in this town too. So we talk about all the entertainment, the culture, the amount of food here compared to like anywhere else in the world. I think you can imagine. It's crazy. So I think that's a good niche for you guys to be in. Yeah,
the food page, Giselle specifically, and another woman named Milena had, Giselle started it, and then Milena also helped with that. Shouts to Milena. And what do I want to say? We're talking about the food page. This weed is weeding. The
Yes, it
weed
is.
is weeding. Let me tell you.
That was a bong bowl and a half.
But it's doing good. It's doing its thing. It's fun to go out and try new food, especially the bougie food I wouldn't normally be going out to eat. I love when they invite us, man. But my favorite spots are still like, like Fuku Burger is one of my favorite places to eat. I'll always say that first. I can't think of the other ones right now. I'm not going to try. But, and then the smokes page kind of started after, this one kind of started after the fact. I was like, oh, wait, these events are starting to pop up that are cannabis related. And just people are wanting to explore more of those spaces. And, people that aren't.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me create this space real quick over here too. So shouts out to Bianca, and we're gonna get that one like going, because I think there's a lot of dope dispensaries in town, and a lot of people that throw cannabis related events, and it's also part of like normalizing discussing those things. Like, it's legal now. I should be able to. I feel like I should have been able to talk about smoking weed at school with my other teachers.
Right.
Like, one might talk about going out to the bar this weekend.
Of course, exactly.
I should be able to be like, yeah, me and my friends Blaze did, and we talked philosophy and how to better the world. I should be able to say that.
Yeah,
right.
And that's kind of part of just the movement like we're doing here, where to normalize it, like you said, just get people to realize, I'm like, okay, this isn't a drug. This isn't something like, people are out here dying or, whatever. It's way less serious than that. And I think there's more that brings us together with the cannabis plant than an alcohol. I mean, having worked for NuWu since we founded the Vegas Taste Room back in 2019, we've had 0 fights break out in our lounge in all these years. I can't think of a bar that would be open that amount of time that could make that claim. I think we get more introspective after we smoke, and a lot of people just get quiet or reserved and things like that. And this can be a safe place for that, but it's not like in a bar where like, okay, now I'm the opposite. I'm loose. I don't care. I'm with my friends. I'm laid back, and you talking to my girl, we're fighting, or whatever it is. It's quite the opposite. And I think part of that paradigm shift and normalizing that, and just getting people to have these conversations, because it doesn't need to be taboo. It doesn't need to be in the closet like it has been for 100 plus years, and it takes moments like this and conversations like this to get people to realize that we can sit here, smoke a bunch of weed, and still have like a normal ass conversation, right? Maybe even a good one. We'll see. We'll let the audience decide. But
and even like people like, I'll say in our promo packages or something, we'll promote you on Nothing to Do LV eats and smokes.
There you go.
And they'll be like, well, my event doesn't have anything to do with smokes.
Right.
It's like, nah, smokers do things too. Like, they're not just smoking. Like, they might want to check out your event, or they're just another customer, dog. Like, it's not this. They're not so separate.
Like, don't tell the stoners about me. Like, why the fuck not, bro? They're probably hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah. So now that you have all those pages up and running and the website, what's next? What are you guys working on? Do you have any like exciting projects that we can let our audience know about?
Well, it's the holiday season. Yes, it's the holiday season, and we launched at the same time as our website. We launched a program called the Key to Vegas.
Okay.
And it's an actual like keychain key that you can buy, you can purchase, and it has a number of businesses on it that you could get a discount to. Awesome. So that's we're adding. I think by Christmas we're gonna have 40 businesses on there.
Oh wow!
To where you could pull up and get discounts from. So check out the Key to Vegas. It's on the website. It's like, did you ever sell, or did you ever like meet those kids that came to your house and they had those cards that had a discount on them from different like
the little coupon books and things like that? Is that
yeah, like a coupon book, but this one was a punch card.
Oh, okay.
So you would get it to like the grocery store, like the donut store, maybe some gas, and you would save like 25% or something if you bought this card, you know, and you could use it like once at that spot or something, or until the expiration date. It's kind of like that concept. So if you were ever like in sports or something, you know, you sold those things. At least here you did.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like that. So right now we have like Makers and Finders is on there, Velveteen Rabbit, a lot of downtown spots are on there, 11th Street Records. So shouts out to all the businesses that are part of the Key to Vegas, and hit me up if you want to join.
That sounds like an amazing program. Good on you guys. There you go. Make sure you check out the Key of Las Vegas this holiday season. Get one for yourself, maybe even a loved one, right?
That's
there
right.
You go. Hell
That's
yeah.
right.
Hell yeah. So what are some goals you have for Nothing to Do Las Vegas in 2025?
Goals. I'm like it's so funny. I'm not a goal person.
Okay.
I kind of just like, I just kind of move towards what feels good. So I currently, like, I'm just not gonna lie and say I have goals. One sitting goal that I've had is expanding to other cities.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like Nothing to Do LA. No, that's not the point.
Right.
It's like cities that you have a hard time finding stuff to do in. So like cities that are like low key popping, but you know, the information is just not compiled in one place.
Yeah.
So for me to do that, it's really just starting the pages, but also like tapping in with the CoCos of, you know, that place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you're from another place and you want to get that cracking, holler at me.
There you go.
And I would say, actually a goal that I'm literally thinking this right now, like this is processing in my brain right now.
Manifestation.
A goal I have will be to get, those 50,000 followers visiting the website every month.
Okay.
Right now we're at a cool 15,000.
Oh,
we
wow.
have 15,000 visitors.
Okay, that's a good percentage of that audience. So.
That's good. That's what we've grown to in that
Especially
year.
in a year time. Yeah, that's an impressive number. Good on you guys.
I'm excited. Yeah, that's I feel good about that, especially because, like I said, I know those 15,000 people are literally looking for things to do. But my goal would be 50,000 a
there
month.
You go. Mm-hmm. Those are some awesome goals. So even though for a person who's not goal driven, you know what I mean?
Thanks for helping me through that.
Happy to help. Happy to help. So do you have any passion projects outside of Nothing to Do Las Vegas that you want to tell our audience about?
Well, you know, I'm a musician. My current way of artistry is I like build my beats live. I use a looper and perform. So I might play a little bit, I might play keys a little bit, I might sing or rap a little bit, and I make beats. You can find all of that stuff on my Instagram, CoCo Jenkins Beats.
There you go.
And I have some music out. I have some beats out on Bandcamp. I also got to shout out like my artist that I work with, Red, who's an amazing MC, and Bucket Drummer. He performed here too at the website launch. And then Moon Raw is a partner project I have with my homegirl Misa Fuego, who's the illest MC. Like I play cello and then she raps and it's bananas. But I'm gonna be working on her album. And then my crew, Rao, we do events and have art parties, and those are my passions. And I also have chickens.
Okay, there you go. That's fun.
I have a dope yard and I have chickens and 2 puppies and the perfect dog named Topi. Those are my passions.
There you go. Hey, those are good passions to have. How many chickens do you have?
Now I have 6.
There you go.
Well, yeah, it's because the new puppies killed 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
Rough, dog. It's real Mother Nature out here.
There you go. Circle of life, right?
Yeah.
Well, that means they ate good, right? Well, okay, sorry. We'll turn the page on that one. That's probably I shouldn't have gone there. Anyway, so while we're here and we're talking about this, let's do a dab out of this Dr. Dabber XS if you're game. Because we're going to wrap this up here. My favorite question that we ask all of our guests here for you. So if you were talking to a younger version of CoCo, someone who might be inspired by your story and want to pursue a similar path as you, what would your advice be for that next generation of event promoters and artists?
Hold on, let me think on this.
Yeah, it's a deep one. That's why we save it for the last one. We're all like good and high. We're like, whoa. Right.
Guys, I usually have a couple go-tos. Hold on, let me see if I can access them right now in my files, in my brain files.
Yeah, right. We got the scrolly wheel. If you're down for round 2 here, I got this Dr. Dabber XS warmed up for you. Well, as soon as it vibrates, it'll be ready to go for you.
Right.
Yeah, and shout out to the XS.
Hold it down for 3 seconds and then wait till it turns green, and then you know it's ready to smoke.
They make it. I like the color coding. They make that part easy. You know what I mean? Red means hot, green means go. Right? I'm here for it.
I don't know why I turned away from the camera. It was to be polite.
There you go. Hey, it's all good. You know. Fortunately, these cameras are great at capturing all the smoke in this room. It's part of what we're doing here, right?
Do I clear it?
It'll clear eventually as it cools down, but if you keep it, it'll just keep going. But that's cool.
Okay. I would say do something different. That's like one thing I would say to not just event promoters, but like anyone that's creating something new that you're trying to establish. Like, what makes you need to exist? That's how I feel. I feel like sometimes, especially like more in the creative and business, sometimes people like they just do the same things that other people do. It's like, why you don't need to be here. Go support that person doing that one.
Yeah.
Come up with something different. Like, why do you need to exist? And I say that with so much love. Like, you know, make your uniqueness and like your niche. I really feel like that's like where your value can exist. You know, we just don't need more of the same. That's why, like, you know, I try and push our content to be a little different than other Vegas content creators, just because it's like, yeah, we're doing it. Why are people coming to us? Our numbers might be like 50,000 compared to, I know some content creators have like 500,000 or, you know, 100,000 or whatever they are. But I also know our community is very specific. You know, our community is really kind too. I love that. I love that so much. Another thing will be to, if you can, find a mentor. Find someone that's done it, that's willing to share their knowledge with you, so you don't have to make those same mistakes. There's someone that's willing to share that knowledge and is doing a version. I know I just said be different, but there's always someone doing a version of what you did. I have a mentor. You know, a couple different mentors. One is a woman named Azia. She runs a website called Fusicology, and hers is an event page where you could go to any city, like 20 different cities, and she posts like Black culture events. So like, you know, house music, reggae shows, hip hop. That's like her niche. But you know, that's a version of what I do. I always try and connect with other people doing like something similar, because we all have something to learn from each other, and yeah, that's just how you get better. You got to be around people that are better than you or have been doing the things. And then the last one I would say is to just go for it. Like, just do it. Just go all the way. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Yeah, just do it.
There you go. Wise words from Miss CoCo Jenkins. Well, I want to thank CoCo for coming on the podcast, for being a part of the NuWu Sessions podcast, episode 39 here. Make sure that you follow CoCo on all of her platforms. Where can they find you, CoCo?
Definitely NTDLV. Definitely hit up the website, NTDLV.com. And you can find me, CoCo Jenkins, at CoCo Jenkins Beats. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for being on. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you follow all the NuWu handles at NuWuLV, at NuWu Sessions, Sky High LV, all of them.
Shout out Jen.
Yes, and Jen from Japan, our amazing event host. So thank you guys for watching. NuWu Sessions, we out.
Out.
That was a great episode, Miss CoCo. Thank you very much for being on. Thank you for being a part of the history for you. If you're game, we could do a dab bar dab if you want to. No pressure. I know we smoked a lot of weed. I know.
Oh yeah, no, actually, no, I can't do those.
You just as soon as you're like, I have meat for breakfast, I was like, we're here for it.
I'm high.
Yeah,
I'm high.
Yeah, right.
High.
With great power comes great responsibility. You know, we had the Hot Ones challenge. You know, this is like, can we do a dab and still talk serious? I'll go pass the test. So.
Did I? Oh my gosh, I almost tapped out a couple of times.
Yeah.